everyone! Today's video is going to be a bit of a different video because today's video is a collab, but this is a huge collab. It's not like anything that I've ever done before. I want to say there's over 30 people in this collab, so for what we are doing for this collab, we're going to be using the Paulina palette by Blush Tribe. If you have not already seen this palette, it's absolutely stunning. I don't think it's in stock. If it is, I will link it down below in the description box. But basically, we are doing this collab because everybody in this collab absolutely loves Paulina, myself included. I've been a huge fan of Paulina ever since before I started my channel. I think she's amazing, and we are just going to be celebrating her in this video. And so basically there are two people who kind of came up with this idea, and they were Jay Havoc and Valerie from Gimme and More. I will have those two linked at the top of the description box, and then everybody else and everything you want to know about this collab will be linked down in the description box. I'm not going to go ahead and like tell you about everybody who is in this collab, because if you're going to be watching a lot of these collabs, all the intros are going to be really long, so I'm going to keep this very short because I don't like to watch long intros myself, so I want to try to be, you know, a good example of what I would like to watch. So we're just going to get into this. So basically what we're going to do today is that everybody in this collab has to use the shade Paulina to do a look with, but we're going to do this like palette bingo style. So everyone is going to draw 4 different colors, like random colors to use with the Paulina shade. So that's what we're going to do. So how I'm going to count this is I think I'm just going to pretend like the shadow isn't here. So I'm just going to kind of jump over that and have this be shade number 8 instead of shade number 9, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna pull up my random number generator and we're just gonna get started because I just want to play with this palette. I love this palette actually, and I'm really happy that I have a chance to play more with this because it's such a good palette. Alright, I have my random number generator up. I have it set from 1 to 8. We're gonna go ahead and generate the first number here. So the first number is going to be number 2. I'm just gonna draw all the numbers and then I will swatch them afterwards. So we have number 2, number 2 again. Let's try something else. Number 3. So number 2, number 3, number 5, and number 5. Number 3. Come on now. Number 4. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and swatch these. So basically we have number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. I think that's it. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. Let me go ahead and swatch these real quick. So here we have number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and then we also have the Paulina shade, which is number 8. I need to wipe off my fingers so that I actually get this to look pink. So here is the last shadow. Wow, that is very crumbly. That is totally my fault. So that is what we are working with. So I mean, basically these two shades are very similar, so it's going to be a very green and pink look, which I'm so here for that. And basically, you can't really get much but a pink and a green look here unless you have the purple. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes with my Smashbox primer if I can find that. Yeah, I don't know where that is. Alright, I found it. I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes. So let me just address the elephant in the room here before we get into this. So I obviously changed up my background. This is just temporary. I ended up buying these 2 drawer things from IKEA. I basically bought 4 of those and I wanted them to be stacked on top of each other, but I realized doing that they would just be too high and I wouldn't really be able to like put stuff on top of it and have it look good. So I kind of just decided to have 2 there, and then I stacked the other 2 next to each other like on the floor. So I'm gonna have to play around with how I want this to be because I took down my shelf, so I can't just like put that back up because that was nailed into my wall. So now I'm kind of stuck and I don't know where I'm going with this. I did buy like a cool wall shelf to put on the wall behind me here. That's probably gonna get here in a couple of days from Amazon. So I'm definitely gonna have some fun switching up my background. I just want to like do something different. I feel like I've had the same thing for so long and I want to be able to have an easy way to switch it up between seasons and stuff. So I don't know, this is just you know, what I had laying around in the house that I could put on top of here and just kind of fill out the background. So don't get too attached to that because it's not gonna stay like that forever, but I still think it looks kind of cool. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm gonna have to kind of get used to it. So let's see, where do I want to start? So I think I want to do a 2-tone crease here. So I'm first gonna go in with the shade Paulina and I'm gonna put that in the first half of my crease. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use, probably use Humble, and I'm gonna put that in the outer part. And then I'm gonna use Sigge to deepen up the outer corners with, and then basically put both of the shimmers on my lid. That's gonna be my plan. Is it super groundbreaking and crazy? Not really, but I think it's gonna end up looking like a very pretty look. So I'm first just gonna go ahead and stamp this pink into the first part of my crease here. And I'm just using a bit of a domed brush just to get the pigment down the way that I want it to be. I'm gonna pull this about halfway across, maybe a little bit further out, because I am probably gonna wing out this look a little bit. So if I want both of these shades to be used in like the same amounts, I feel like I need to pull this out a little bit further. So I'm just gonna lay this color down like this, gonna do the same on the other eye. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe off my brush, and I'm gonna use the same brush to sort of blend this out. I'm just gonna go over the edge here with small circular motions and just buff this out to make sure it's looking nice and blended. I also wanna make sure that where I'm gonna transition the pink into the green, that I have a good sort of blend here so that it's easier to kind of just pack a little bit of the green on top of the pink instead of having to really mix them in together, because it's gonna get a little bit muddy if I do that. Pink and green are just not the best colors to blend into each other, so I definitely want to try to keep them as separated as I can while still, you know, putting them next to each other and having them look like they belong together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Humble, which I said was this lightest of the green shades. And I'm just going to use the same brush. This is a brush that I got from BH Cosmetics. It's from their neon brush set, the one with the neon handles. I really like this brush. I don't use it as often as I should, but I really like it. So I'm having the green on my brush here, and I'm just going to go ahead and basically pack that like right on top of where the edge of the pink is. And I'm not really going to blend this in together. I'm just going to use like packing motions. Even when I do kind of go over the pink, I'm just going to pat. I don't want to sweep because I don't want these to end up getting muddy. And so once I've gotten that kind of down, I've still yet to really, you know, perfect the blend between the two. But I'm first going to just put down this shadow where I want it to be and sort of perfect the shape of the eyeshadow itself. And I'm going to go ahead and probably wing this out a little bit here. I'm going to start on my lower lash line, just put down some color here, because I find that it's a lot easier to figure out the angle in which I'm going to wing up my look if I have the lower lash line done first, because then I can just kind of bring it up from my lower lash line and meet it up with what I have in my crease here. So you can see now it's looking like I have the angle that I want, and I'm just going to kind of diffuse this out a bit. So now that I have this down, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of that green on the same brush here. I'm going to tap this off, and I'm just going to kind of tap this over where I'm trying to blend in the pink to the green. And I'm worried I am going to get this a little bit muddy just because these colors are not the easiest to blend together and make it look smooth, but I think this is going to be okay. As long as I go in with the shimmers on my lid, I don't think you're really going to focus too much on the transition between these two colors too much. Like ideally what you would do if you wanted to transition from a pink to a green would be to put a purple in the middle, because purple blends really nicely into both of these colors, so that would be a good way to kind of make sure that it wouldn't end up turning kind of brown in the middle, but instead having a, you know, a real color in the middle. So that's probably what I would do if I could, but obviously I don't want to pull in shadows from this palette here that aren't in this palette bingo or, you know, challenge or whatever you want to call it, because that kind of takes away the challenge itself. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do next is I'm going to take Sigga, which is the darkest of the green shades. This is the name of her dog, if you didn't know. Of course, I will have Paulina's channel linked down below as well, because she is amazing, and if you're not already following her, what are you doing with your life? I mean, for real, like, she is great. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the same brush, and I'm just gonna put that on the outer part of my eye here. I don't really think that these colors are going to look all that different on the eye, but I obviously have to use it because it's, you know, part of the challenge and it's one of the shadows that I drew. So I'm just gonna use this to kind of try to deepen up the outer corner a little bit here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and basically pack that on the outer part of my lid as well, even though I'm gonna definitely layer the green shimmer on top of this, but it's still kind of nice to just have something underneath when you're putting down your shimmers so that they're popping a little bit extra. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'll be able to watch everybody who was in this collab, but I'm really excited to just go check out some new people, because there's a lot of people in this collab that I don't know and I've never watched, and so it'll be fun to see if there are some people that I end up absolutely loving. I'm sure I will, because it's just fun to, you know, see who else is doing the same kind of stuff that you're doing. And sometimes it's hard to find new channels unless you're actively looking for them, which I just have so many people I watch right now. I don't have time to like try to find new people a lot of the time, and so I tend to stick to watching the same people over and over. So this is going to be a nice way to kind of find some new people. So what I'm going to go ahead and do next is I'm going to take Solely, which is the shimmery green. So this is not like a super dark green, as you can see here, but I think it's going to look really nice on the outer part of my lid here. So I'm basically just going to follow what I have in my crease. I'm going to put the pink shimmer on the inner part of my lid, and then a dark green shimmer, or the green shimmer, on the outer part of my lid. And I think I'm also going to pull that pink shimmer down just around and meet that up with the green that I have in my lower lash line. I don't really like having a matte pink like in the inner part of my lower lash line here. I'm first going to go ahead and take the green here. And I probably need to use a brush that don't have glitter glue on it, because that's going to make everything look way worse. Alright, let's try this again. I've sprayed my brush with some Fix Plus because I just always do that with my shimmers. I don't really necessarily think that these shimmers in particular need it, because the shimmer formula in this palette is so beautiful. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that on the outer part of my lid. And I'm going to put it on like all of my lid. I don't want this to look like I have cut crease or anything like that. So I am going to layer it like over the green that I put down. And also just kind of tap it into my crease ever so slightly. And then I think I'm just going to take the same brush and I'm going to go into Thingling, which is the light pink shade. Going to give that a little spritz as well. And I'm just going to put that on the rest of my lid here and just meet that up with the green shade. I love this. This is so beautiful. And then where these two colors meet, I'm basically just going to kind of, you know, meet them up together without kind of swirling too much. I just want to make sure that they blend. So pretty much like this. I think that's looking really pretty. So I'm just going to finish up this eye, and then I want to do something fun with like liners and stuff. I haven't really decided what I want to do yet, but I think I want to do some kind of a, I don't know, like green wing or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. Maybe I'll even do like a ombre, like green to pink wing or something like that. Maybe that's what I'll do. I don't know. I feel like being fancy today. And like I said, I'm also gonna take this down to my lower lash line here. I'm gonna switch to a smaller brush. This is my Morphe M149. I love doing any kind of work in my inner corner with this shape, or this brush I should say, because it's just so small and precise. And I'm also just gonna go ahead and put this on my lower lash line here as well. Okay, so the basic eyeshadow is done. I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go in with some Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks, and I'm going to use some of these as an eyeliner. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the dark green. This is Crocodile Tears, I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to use that on like the first part of my upper lid here where the pink is, and then once I get over to where the green is, I'm going to use the pink. So I kind of want to just like flip everything so that everything contrasts. So I think I'm going to try to do that. I'm not going to be able to speak while I'm doing this. I'm going to use a very small eyeliner brush here. This is from Makeup Forever. It's the 225, wait, no, it's the 250. I love using this for eyeliner or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. Not sure how successful it's going to be, but I'm gonna try, so I'll just kind of fast forward and you guys can watch it because I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Alright, so this is where we're at. So it was really hard to get the pink to be really nice and opaque, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I think this was a Diva by Jeffree Star. It's just kind of drying out, so I don't want to put like 20 layers on my lid because I just don't think that's going to be very comfortable or wear well. So I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to pop something in my waterline though. I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to pull in maybe like something different, like a blue? I'm just like casually holding a blue eye pencil. I don't know what I want to do. I'm gonna find something, pop that on my waterline, do some liner, mascara, put on a lipstick. Actually, I already did my liner. You know what I mean. I'm gonna finish up my eyes and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the final look all complete. I don't know how I feel about this lip combo, but I also don't feel like taking it off, so it's just staying. So I used a lipstick sample that I got sent from Glaminatrix. I don't know how I feel about this yet. And then on top, I used the Designer Collection lip gloss by Disney. This is from Colourpop. It's called Boo. So yeah, that's going to be my completed look. I'm really excited to see what everyone else has come up with. So yeah, go ahead and check out all of those other beautiful ladies that are linked out in my description box if you want to see other people do looks with the Paulina palette. If you're not already following Paulina, go ahead and follow Paulina, because what are you waiting for? I mean, you guys are going to love her if you're not already following her. So that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.